Ezra Ondara is also a journalist by profession, but he decided to venture into matters content creation, not in the legacy media, but in the online space. Ezra, maybe you can tell us why did you decide to venture into the online space rather than going into the mainstream media?
Whoa. Okay. So first things first. Remember, every year you have a whole lot of students graduating out of journalism, mass communication, media courses, and all of them are looking to go into mainstream.
Yeah.
However, the population, the rate of graduation and the population and the whole lot of people who come out of campuses with degrees in journalism, vis-a-vis how many mainstream medias are being opened every other year.
Yeah.
So if you look at that, even the mainstream media can only take a few out of those graduates. So now the rest of the population itaenda wapi? So they have to find a way.
Yeah.
So I am one of those guys who found a way.
All right.
Because ever since I went to school, to campus, it was still Citizen, K24, KTN, and NTV. In fact, NTV used to even have QTV, but QTV, I think it was closed.
Yeah, it was.
So it is still. Is there any other new media that has come up? Maybe recently TV47, it did come in recently. But you see, you have like 10,000 people graduating every year, from School of Journalism. Wataenda wapi wote? Those mainstream media zitoshi. So at some point, one has to find their way. And even apart from, the professionals graduating from the School of Journalism, these days we have also seen a shift even in the mainstream media of not really going for individuals, who have been trained in journalism. You have mainstream media picking just somebody from the streets just because, I don't know, they did whatever,
Course. Yeah.
Okay, not even course. They did whatever challenge out there. I don't know, it's a TikTok challenge.
Then they ended up
or
trending.
Maybe they have been on TikTok. They have just been trending. And then you see these guys are employed in the mainstream media.
Yeah.
So there is that disturbance as well that came about. So even if you went to school, you have to find a way, you have to just find your way. And I'm one of those guys who found my way, and I came into content creation. Of course, earlier I even started by online writing. I used to write reviews, gardening in the gardening niche. I've done a lot of reviews around power tools, hammer drills, demolition hammers, best of top 10, reviews around travel. So in fact, it is just one day that I asked myself, okay, I've been doing this thing for like 6 years.
Okay.
So how do I transition to the next one? Because I can't, I always feel I cannot do one particular thing for years and years and years.
Yeah.
So I have to be transitioning to something else. So I transitioned to now videos.
Content creation.
To now content creation.
All right.
So I picked the real estate, as we have said, then eventually Nakuru, beyond the city, now businesses in Nakuru, etc. Hotels, I've done so many marketing for hotels, etc. Yeah, so that's how I ended up from a class of journalism, a graduate of journalism actually, to now a content creator, which is still falls under media. It is still media.
Yeah, because I see you are doing you are storytelling actually, but you are mixing it with business.
Sure.
And
Out of it, because now without business, then you're not going to put something in your pocket.
Yeah, that's true.
So the main essence of whatever we are doing out here is to put something in our pocket.
And based on your experience, does it pay more than legacy media?
I don't know. I don't even know how mainstream media pays. We hear rumors out here that I don't know, Jeff earns, I don't know, 3 million. earns 1.1. I mean, you just hear stories.
Yeah.
I don't know whichever presenter earns this amount of money, but I don't know. I've never been, with any person who's employed in the media and asked them, by the way, how much do you earn So I don't know how much it pays on that end,
Mm-hmm.
but as well, you have seen content creators, bigger than me, bigger names than me in the industry,
Yeah.
flossing out there. Oh, I bought my wife a Mercedes. You heard the other day, I don't know, Bahati saying he bought his wife an apartment.
Yeah.
So then they're in content creation.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, they are telling us through this, I've been able to do this. I've bought my wife this. I've bought this. I've bought this.
Yeah.
But then I've not seen a journalist in mainstream media coming out here and telling us, you know what, I've bought this, or I'm driving this car. Maybe Stephen Leto started lately by doing some big weddings.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Then maybe there could be good money on the other side as well, on the legacy media. But for the content creation, well, I'm sure you have seen many coming out claiming how they have made a lot of money and they are doing this. They are traveling. They're in Dubai. They are where?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's difficult for me.
Yeah, but it's a journey. Content creation is always a journey, right? You start from somewhere.
Sure.
And I'm sure you've also experienced some challenges as a content creator. And what advice can you give someone who wants to venture into content creation?
In fact, as of this moment, I mean, I always feel that as the world evolves, like everything else, should evolve as well. So like today, I think in these universities, especially that have media departments, I think today every university now should have a department of content creation. There should be like school of content creation,
Yeah.
JQuat or multimedia or Kabarak or wherever. There should be that department of content creation. Because when you go to the streets these days, every Sunday, you will see young people there. Everybody's just doing content. They're doing TikTok, they're taking photos, These days you have so many street photographers. But when you talk to most of them, they didn't even go to anybody's school. They just learned in the field. But I believe if you back that now field work with academic, I'm sure they will be on a whole different level. So first things first, there should be that Now, there should be that department of content creation. Now, coming from school or anybody maybe who is in school and they're looking to go into content creation, the world of content creation is wide.
Okay.
There is just so much that you can do. You don't have to do a podcast, imagine.
Yeah.
So the mistake that I've seen some other young folks do is chasing somebody else's dream, wanting to live somebody else's dream.
Yeah.
So you would see maybe Ezra is doing maybe real estate, and you see him as anapata views, and then you're like, okay, maybe I can also do the same and get views. The best thing is find your niche. Like, what especially is your passion? Like, what do you think, even if not passion, what do you think you can back? Okay, that passion, what do you think you can back it up with to monetize it? Okay, so passion plus now the business side of it.
Okay.
Maybe you are a good painter as well, or you are a good artist, unachora pale. You can create content around your artistry so that it is content, but it is content about your artistry that you convert to money, into business. You see? So that's what I can tell them. Don't just go into a space because maybe you saw somebody else is in that space. Just find your niche pole. You can even create content about farming. Like, content creation is a broad field. I've seen content of folks just going to a waterfall. They put a camera on still, and then the waterfall just flows. Camera is not moving, and then they call them relaxation videos. So the only thing you hear is the sounds of the waterfalls, or sometimes they just put some soothing background music, and then the waterfalls evil, the fire. Like that. So the content is so wide. You can podcast, you can even create content of yourself walking, or even changing clothes. You see even content of, I don't know, fashion haul. A lady is changing clothes and she wears this, and all of that is content. So content is so wide. So they can just pursue it, whichever department, but then back it up with, how do I monetize this? Because even me, the way I do it is, yes, I will shoot the real estate, I will shoot the homes that are on market for sale, but how do I monetize? I'll get a commission from the sale that I'll make. So it is content, but on the other hand, it's bringing business.
Yeah.
Good.
And you said you have to identify a niche.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take for you to identify a niche? We are going to talk about that when we return from this break.
All right.